Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Unfortunately, our New York Knicks fell to the Cleveland Cavaliers 110-104, bringing them to 1-2 on the season. Looking at the cup half full, the only two teams the New York Knicks have lost to are the only two teams that are undefeated in the Eastern Conference. That's the Boston Celtics, and that is the Cleveland Cavaliers. When you zoom out and you talk about what the Knicks need to do better, it's pretty simple from my vantage point. They need to shoot more threes. And this comes on the plate and at the feet of Tom Thibodeau. One of my biggest question marks of this team going into this season was, are they going to be able to generate enough three-point looks without a guy like Julius Randle, who could drive and kick and dish and pass out of double teams in the half court, and a guy like Dante DiVincenzo, who set the record for the most three-pointers made by a New York Knick in a season. There are 30 teams in the association. The New York Knicks are shooting 28.3 threes per game. That is the least in the NBA. But most importantly, they got to get shots up for the people that can make threes. They just got to shoot more threes. And it's not just as simple as take more threes. They need to generate more threes. I went back and watched this game last night when I got home from the Monday Night Football debacle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And there were opportunities for the Knicks to take and make more threes, but I believe it just comes down to schematics. And one of my biggest stopping grounds for the New York Knicks this season was, are they going to be able to overcome the loss of Johnny Bryant, who I believe was the brains and the overall X's and O's guys on the offensive end, almost like the offensive coordinator for this basketball team. And you replace it with Mo Cheeks, who, all due respect, played in the NBAs when the three-point shot was not all that relevant. So now you are coached by Tom Thibodeau, Mo Cheeks, and a lot of older coaches who I think the game has somewhat maybe potentially passed by. The Knicks need to do a better job overall of just getting up more shots. I'm not worried about this loss. The Cavs are going on their third year as a team. The New York Knicks had this game. Then Josh Hart got hurt in the second half, and they couldn't hold on to that second half lead. They were outscored by Cleveland by 10 in the fourth quarter and 3 in the third quarter, 13 in the second half. Look, at the end of the day, I don't want to just blame this game on Jalen Brunson, but at the end of the day, if Brunson's going to play like this, it's going to be hard for the New York Knicks to win games consistently. The thing that I'm a little bit upset about is, why does Karl Anthony Towns only have 8 shot attempts? That's a Tom Thibodeau thing. That's a Jalen Brunson thing. Tom Thibodeau, this team needs you to be better. We know you can coach defense. We know you can establish a culture. The Knicks are past that. The Knicks are now in the contention mode to win an NBA Finals. And you are never going to win the NBA Finals if Karl Anthony Towns is getting up 8 shots. Cat this year has shot, I believe, less than 10 threes in 3 games. 2 last night. You need to find a way to get him more looks. I understand we're trying to use Karl Anthony Towns as a back-to-the-basket, post-up player. But, man, you didn't get Karl Anthony Towns to play 5 out to not play 5 out. You made this trade to open up the offense. You made this trade to up your offensive ceiling. Right now, the New York Knicks are kind of meh on offense. 8 shots, simply not enough. Tom Thibodeau, it is your job to find a way to get Karl Anthony Towns more involved. It also falls at the feet of Jalen Brunson. Everybody needs to have a more stronger effort into getting him more involved. He's a better player than this, and he needs more opportunities. I like what I've seen from Mikal Bridges after the allegations of him losing his jump shot and changing his jump shot. He's shooting pretty dang well. And one thing that's taken me by surprise is mid-range Mikal. Mikal Bridges has been operating that mid-range. He talked about that was a working point, for him this offseason. He talked about when you watch the playoffs, you see teams and great players operate in the mid-range. He's got that mid-range Mikal. No worries about him. I like what I've seen so far. I thought OG played fine. Honestly, I thought outside of Karl Anthony Towns' lack of volume and Jalen Brunson just missing shots that he usually makes. No one's upset at Brunson. No one's blaming the game at Brunson. He needs to be better. It simply is that easy. OG Anunoby, I think he still might be the second best player on this team. and I believe in this team and these starters in the long run. Josh Hart was playing a hell of a ball game. Helter-skelter. Bodies are on the floor. There are 13 rebounds for Josh Hart. He was awesome. He's been awesome in the last 2 games. Wasn't that great against the Boston Celtics, but he was good in this game and in the game you won against the Indiana Pacers on Friday night. The injury for him is something to monitor. Hopefully it's not that serious and he can get back out there ASAP. This team needs time to play together. This team needs to gel. They need to learn how to trust each other. They need to learn where other people are going to be, because it's hard to build chemistry if it's a consistent change in rotation. And I want to see that starting 5 continue to play and play better and play more of a cat-centric style of offense. I don't really love seeing the ISO hero ball from Jalen Brunson in Game 3 of 82. Nothing to be worried about, but what's your confidence level in the New York Knicks right now? Has it changed at all through 3 games of the season? I'm still at a 10. I still believe in this team, but I also can acknowledge that they do need to improve in some areas. And I think Tom Thibodeau needs to do a better job and understand who he has on this roster and come up with a game plan to maximize this team's success with the players on this team. The great coaches, they find ways to put their players in the best spots to be successful. I'm not just so sure that Tom Thibodeau is doing that right now, but I have a lot of trust in him to do so. We'll talk more about this game and the things that went wrong and some bright spots as well. Loving what I'm seeing from Miles McBride. I think he's putting together a 6-man type of season. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, DraftKings. The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code NICKSCHAT. That's code NICKSCHAT for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/BBALL. An off night for the New York Knicks tonight, but a lot of action across the association. Smitty, what do we got, and how are we going to win some money with DraftKings tonight?
I got some plays of the day. These are all straight bets, not throwing a parlay out there. I'm 0 for 2 on the lays, so I got to make you guys some money. I got the Pelicans money line on the road in Golden State. They're missing Steph Curry. I think the Pels will take advantage. Give me the Mavs +5 at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Off night for Luka last night. It's a back-to-back, but I think the Mavs are going to bounce back. Kings -6.5 against the Utah Jazz. And I just realized I took 3 road teams. This might be a doom, baby, but I think these are the best picks of the night. Kings -6.5 against the Jazz, the better team. They get buckets. Go win yourself some money. Let's go at least 2-1 and be profitable on the night.
How about 3-0?
3-0 would be nice.
Let's get some money bags heading to the Chase account. Shout out to DraftKings. Use that promo code NICKSCHAT, and you'll get $200 for free when you place your first $5 bet. You don't even got to win it, and they'll give you $200 for free. Alrighty, I'm loving what I'm seeing so far from Miles McBride.
The NBA is finally
back.
back.
A new season. His confidence is sky high. His work in the offseason of becoming more of a shooter and shot creator have clearly worked, and it's yielding early results. A guy that, if you remember, and I don't want to go too far down memory lane, this is a guy that we used to go crazy about when he made a shot. Deuce with a deuce. Now it's Deuce with a triple. He's been unreal. Maybe he'll be inserted into the starting lineup with Josh Hart being injured. Once we get an update on that, we'll fill you in on that. But yeah, love what I'm seeing from Deuce, and I wouldn't even mind more looks from him. I also don't want to see Cameron Payne shooting the same amount of shots as Karl Anthony Towns. I get it. It's a new team. They're learning each other. They're starting to play together. But it's on everyone on this team to get Cat the ball. They need to make him a bigger part of this team, a part of this offensive attack. And I want to see him be the guy that we gave up a 2-time All-NBA player for and the best shooter in Knicks history. because that's what DiVincenzo was after one season. It was interesting to see Ariel Huckporty. Interesting is maybe not in the word. It was interesting that Tom Thibodeau chose to go with Huckporty because we know how he views young players in this league. Huckporty was in the game down the stretch with about 5.5 minutes, so about 4.5 minutes as that starting center without Karl Anthony Towns. He had a nasty stuff where he dunked the ball, but he got waved off because an offensive foul is an absolute joke. I mean, you watch Huckporty, and I don't want to go too far here, but I think the Knicks got a player in this guy. And you guys were telling me all off season long, the Huckporty hive was Huckportying. And it's the guy that when I watch him, he moves his feet well. He's got great balance. He's got great agility. He's an extremely gifted athlete. He's a leaper. He can throw it down. He moves his feet well on the defensive end. I don't know what the ceiling is. I'm just happy to be a part of the Ariel Huckporty experience. And honestly, he's just already a better player than Jericho Sims, and I think Tom Thibodeau knows that. I can't wait for Precious Achiuwa to get back because I do think, and I was kind of hesitant to say, I do want to see a lineup where Cat and Precious Achiuwa are playing together. Look, 43 rebounds. You out-rebounded them technically, but in the second half, they beat you on the glass. And look, their best players were the best players. It's a very simple sport. When your best players are the best players, you're going to win the game. And Darius Garland was awesome in that fourth quarter. I think he made Garland made 3 of his 5 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. One wiped out the Knicks' lead midway through the period, and he later hit back-to-back to open up an 8-point advantage. Look, he was great. And so was Donovan Mitchell. Their guards put on a great display of offense. They took great shots. They made great shots. At the end of the day, their best players were the best players. Nothing to get too hung up about this game, but I do see that there are some clear and obvious changes the Knicks need to make. He had a good look. They were good. The Cavs are good. I believe the Cavs are going to be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're going to be neck and neck with the Knicks as well as the Celtics, in my opinion. And I wouldn't even be shocked if the Cavs win more regular season games than the Knicks. It's year 3 of this nucleus. They're continuing to get better and better, and I love the coaching change that they made with Atkinson. At the end of the day, I still believe in this team. I still think they're going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I still think in the right situation and the right way this team, I believe them coming together, they can win the East, but a long way to go, steps to be made, and changes and philosophy type of changes need to be made. It's only game 3. No one's overreacting, but there is some things that I would like to see this team work on and take a stronger importance in, like shooting more threes. I hate that the NBA has become a math game, but man, you either move with the trends or you get left by the trends. And I'm hoping the Knicks aren't the team that's going to shoot the 30th most threes in the NBA every single night. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG. Same handle, @MarshallGreen_. We're going to be live on the channel tomorrow night for another New York Knicks watch party. Subscribe, noties on, and let's go Knicks.